Hi, it's Dana here, and today I have a little video showing you kind of the sketch technique with stencils. A couple weeks ago I posted a card with a bird stencil, and I kind of used this sketch technique that I learned on the online card class. I kind of took it a little step further and used multiple markers, colors, and lines for my little sketch technique. So I thought I'd just kind of show you how I did that. To get started, we're going to need some ink, VersaFine black ink, and I just use this steel die from Paper Tray Ink. The stencil that we're going to use is, let's see, this penny black stencil. I think it's called Promenade. It's kind of flower stencil here. I also use this penny black stamp. Let's see, yeah, this Thank You Very Much. And then I'm also going to need just a basic card base. And for markers, I used these distress markers right here to color the flowers. And then I used a couple sequins. So to get started, I used watercolor paper that I trimmed out to be the same size as my card base. And I'm going to take my stencil and place it on my watercolor paper, and you can kind of pretty much put it wherever you want. So let's see, in this one, particular one, I find the smooth side here. I just kind of flipped it upside down. Thought I'd make it a little bit more interesting, and just kind of get it wherever you want it. No, probably about there's good. And then I just use some washi tape to hold down the stencil. Like that. Okay, so when I colored them, I chose 3 different colors. You kind of want a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. And the colors that I used were dried marigold, spice marmalade, and ripe persimmon. And I actually am going to be using the fine tip here side of the marker. And something to, before you get started, is to think about how you want your lines to go. I found as I did it that if I went one direction for one item and then a direction for another, it kind of looked really odd. So you want to stay in one direction throughout your whole stencil. So I just like to go up and down vertically. You can go horizontal, you know, diagonal, whatever. That's just kind of how I like it. So to get started, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here just to kind of help you see. Okay, so I'm going to start with my lightest color, and so I'm going to do this flower right here, and basically I'm going to just kind of lay down some color basically. And I just draw lines all the way from the top to the bottom, again all in the same direction. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, just so you can kind of get a little bit of color. And this is my lighter color. So then I'm going to go in with my next color, which is the Spice Marmalade. And this color, I don't want it all the way to the end because it's going to be my next darkest color, and that doesn't go all the way to the very edge. And I've also decided that I'm going to make this area here be darker. So I'm going to just come in and just kind of fill in this color with lines, just like maybe halfway or so up my flower. And now that I did that, I also want to add a couple long lines just to kind of help blend it between the darker color and the lighter color. So then I'm going to come in with my darkest color, and let's see, the fine hip. And again, I'm going to add lines, but I'm not going to come all the way. I just want to add a little bit at the very top, kind of where it's the darkest. And I just continue all the way around wherever I want to add a little bit of the darker color. And again, I'm going to come in and just add a couple lines up into the next color to help blend it. Now I'm going to go back to my middle color and add more lines, and I kind of do this just because it kind of helps blend the two colors. And again, I'm just drawing lines straight, and I'm also kind of adding in, filling in where I think it might need to be, kind of coming up in the lighter color, just so it kind of blends it all a little bit better. And then last, I'm going to come in with my lightest color, and I'm going to go from the very top to the bottom and just add a bunch more lines just to kind of blend it all. And I can go back if I need to blend, you know, maybe the darker color with the medium color, or the medium color with the dark color if I need to. So it's basically just like that. So that's the flower, and I thought I'd go ahead and do one leaf for you just so you can kind of see what that looks like. For the leaf colors, I used where is it, shabby shutters, peeled paint, and mowed lawn. Okay, so again, I'm going to come in with my lightest color. Now on my bird, the bird had branches, and I was able to do the same technique within the branches using brown, of course. But in this stencil, the actual stems of the flowers are really, I mean, it's really tiny. So I'm just going to color in the stems like this and not worry about trying to do lines. Whereas in the bird, the branches were more substantial, and you actually had room to go in there and color them in. So if we're going to do this leaf, I want to continue and have the same lines like I do here at the same angle. So I'm going to come in with my lightest color and just kind of basically lay down color. Just like about that. And then I'm going to come in with my next color, the medium, and you kind of want to decide where you want your shading. So I'm going to do it kind of at the top of this leaf. So I'm going to come in and just add some color at the very top. And then I'm going to add a couple longer lines into my lighter color to help it blend. And then last, I'm going to come in with my darkest color and add just a little bit at the very top, kind of adding a few longer lines to help blend it in. And then I'm going to come in with my medium, kind of blend that darker color with my medium. And then last, I'm going to come in with my very lightest color and have lines all the way from the top of the leaf to the bottom of the leaf, kind of filling in and blending in where I need to. And there it goes. So that's kind of how you do the sketch. I actually already did one on the full card panel here. And so you can see all my sketch lines run from the top to the bottom, and all the leaves, no matter, you know, which way they fall. Alright, so I can get rid of this stencil here. Okay, so to finish out my card, I'm going to take a die and I'm going to just kind of set it here, add a little bit of washi tape to hold it down, and then I'm just going to run it through the die cutting machine. Okay, so I have my little piece that I cut out, and I'm going to back that with a piece of just orange cardstock. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back around my die cut area. Okay, so now I have my orange panel here, and then I'm going to just take my thank you stamp, ink it up. Alright, and then last, all I need to do is just add it to my card base with some adhesive. Alright, there we go. And that is the sketch technique with stencils and some markers. And I hope that inspires you to give it a try. Thanks for joining me.